A very warm welcome to Genie's Crochet Corner. Today I'd just like to show you this one row repeat reversible crochet pattern stitch, and it's worked on a multiple of 3 chain, and what we're going to be doing is just working a foundation row of single crochet, and then we just go straight into the pattern row, which you just repeat for as many times as you want to for the length of the project you're working on. And it's quite a nice solid stitch, and it is reversible. It looks like this from the front and like that from the back, so it is reversible, and it's suitable for beginners. And I'm just going to start off by using a 6.5mm crochet hook, or K crochet hook, and that's I'm using the 6.5mm hook because I crochet extremely tightly, and I'm using some worsted or 8-ply yarn. So if you're going to be using the worsted or 8-ply yarn, then a 6mm hook would be appropriate for that. So you can also use this pattern for a chunky, to work with a chunky yarn and a bigger size hook, or you can use a thinner ply yarn and a smaller hook. It's suitable for most wool types. So I'm just going to start off by making a slip knot, and I'm going to chain my multiple of 3. So I'm going to chain 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. So I have my multiples of 3. If you're making a blankie, you're obviously going to use a larger number of multiples of 3. And for the foundation row, we're just going to be working single crochet into each chain across. So I'm not going to be using the first chain. We're going to miss it or skip it. It just counts as a turning chain and doesn't count as a stitch. So we miss the first chain. Into the second chain, I'm just going to work my single crochet, and then into each chain to the end of the row I'm going to be working a single crochet, and that's just the foundation row. You can use it works up quite nicely on a chunky yarn with a larger crochet hook, and it is suitable for blankets and tote bags and cardigans. So just a single crochet into each chain across. So we've just worked the foundation row, and we work the pattern row on top of the foundation row. So I'm just for the and this is a pattern, you just repeat the pattern row for as many times as you want to. So I'm just going to chain 1, 2, 3, and this 3 chain counts as a stitch and as a turning chain. So we don't use this first stitch here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to miss the next stitch, miss the next stitch, and into the following stitch. So we're not using this first stitch, and I'm missing or skipping the next stitch and the following stitch, and into the following stitch I'm going to work 1 double crochet. So we have this stitch, the first stitch, which is we're not using, and I have 1, 2 missed or skipped stitches. What I'm going to do is work a double crochet, but I'm going to work it into this missed stitch here, but I'm going to do it from behind. So just from behind, and we're going to work a double crochet. So we have a crossed kind of stitch there, and then this missed or skipped stitch here, I'm just going to work 3 incomplete double crochets like so, and around this crossed stitch here. So we just go in, pull the yarn through, and just work an incomplete double crochet, leaving the last loop on the hook, and we repeat that another 2 times. So just in and around your crossed stitch, and leave the last loop of your incomplete double crochet on the hook, and repeat that another time. We now have 4 loops on the hook. I'm pulling the yarn through the first 3 loops on the hook, and then through the last 2 loops on the hook, and you've made your first pattern stitch. It looks like that, and on the other side it will look like that. So I'm going to miss or skip the next 2 stitches into the following stitch, work my double crochet, and then I'm going to work from behind. I'm going to go back to this skipped or missed stitch, and I'm going to work a double crochet from behind. So just like so. And I have my cross stitch, and I have this unworked stitch here. We're just going to repeat what we did here. So just work incomplete double crochet around the crossed stitch. So just into there, and then just work your incomplete double crochet around your crossed stitch, leaving the last loop on the hook, and we repeat that another 2 times. And we have our 4 loops on the hook. Just pull the yarn through the first 3 loops of the hook, and then the next 2 loops on the hook, and you have your second pattern stitch. So it looks like that from this side, and like that from the other side. And I'm going to miss or skip the next 2 stitches, and just repeat what we have done, a double crochet into the, so we miss 1, 2, and a double crochet into the following stitch, and then work a double crochet from behind into this unworked stitch. And you have your crossed stitch. Then we have this unworked stitch here, and we're just going to work 3 incomplete double crochet into there and around your crossed stitch. So you just pull go in to the stitch and pull your yarn around the crossed stitch, and we do that another 1 more time. And we have our 4 loops on the hook. Just pull the yarn through the first 3 loops and then through the last 2 loops. And we just repeat that till the end. So we're going to miss 1, 2 stitches into the following stitch. We work our double crochet and then into this unworked stitch, which is next to the double crochet we've just worked. We're going to work a double crochet from behind. And there's our cross stitch, and then we have this unworked stitch here. You're just going to in and then pull the yarn round your cross stitch and work your incomplete double crochet. And we do that another 2 times. And pull the yarn through the first 3 loops on the hook and then the last 2 loops on the hook. I'm now left with just 1 stitch here. I'll work a double crochet into that last stitch. And that is your pattern row. I'll work another row with you. So I'm going to chain 1, 2 and 3. And the 3 chain doesn't, the 3 chain stands as the first stitch and as the turning chain, so we don't use this stitch here. And I'm going to miss or skip the next 2 stitches, and into the 3rd stitch I'm going to be working a double crochet. And then we have these 1, 2 unworked stitches into this unworked stitch, which is next to the double crochet. I'm going to work a double crochet but from behind. So this is your 3 chain, and this is the first stitch that we're not using, and we have this unworked stitch, and we're going to be working our 3 incomplete double crochet into that stitch and around the cross stitch. So just into the stitch and pull the yarn around the cross stitch, leaving the last loop of the double crochet on the hook, and repeat that 2 more times. And we have our 4 loops on the hook. Just pull the yarn through the first 3 loops and then through the last 2 loops. And we repeat that till the end of the row. So this is the pattern stitch. Same as this pattern stitch here, you just repeat it for as many times as you want to. So we're going to miss or skip 1, 2 stitches into the 3rd stitch. We work our double crochet and then into this unworked stitch next to the double crochet we've just made. I'm going to work a double crochet but from behind, and it gives you the cross stitch. And then we're going to go back to this unworked stitch, hook in, and then just pull the yarn round your crossed stitches, leaving the last loop on the hook. And we do that another 2 more times. And we have our 4 loops on the hook. Pull your yarn through the first 3 loops on the hook and then through the last 2 loops on the hook. So it looks like that, and then you turn it around. It gives you, it slants that way and then that way. So it is reversible, the pattern. So I'm just going to continue to the end of the row I'm going to miss this or skip this stitch here, skip the next stitch, and into the following stitch work a double crochet. And then we have our 1, 2, I'll just get my counting correct. We miss this stitch. It can get confusing because you have your stitch there with the slanted double crochet in it. So we miss this stitch, miss that stitch, and into the following stitch we work our double crochet. And then into the unworked stitch next to the double crochet we've just made, we work a double crochet, but we do that from behind. And then we have this unworked stitch. We're going to work our 3 incomplete double crochet into that stitch and around the crossed stitch. So in and around, incomplete double crochet, leaving the last loop on the hook. And we do that, so we have a total of 3 incomplete double crochet on the hook. So we have our 2 4 loops on the hook, pull through the first 3 loops on the hook, and then through the last 2 loops on the hook. And we do the same for the last pattern stitch. So we miss that stitch, miss that stitch, into the following stitch we work our double crochet. And then this unworked stitch, we're just going to work a double crochet into that from behind to give you your crossed stitch. And then we have this unworked stitch, and we're just going to work our 3 incomplete double crochet into there and around your crossed stitch. So just in and around, leaving the last loop of the double crochet on the hook, and we do that for a total of 3 times. And we have our 2 4 loops on the hook. Just pull through the first 3 loops and then the last 2 loops, and we're left with our turning chain, our 1 2 3 chain. If you want, you can just work a double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. I sometimes like to just go underneath into the 3 turning chain and just work my double crochet that way. It's just a matter of preference. And that's your pattern row. So we've got our foundation row, pattern row, pattern row. Looks like that from the front, and it's reversible, so it looks the same at the back. And just a multiple of 3 chain for as many chain as you want to use, and just repeat the pattern row for as many times as you want to. I do hope this tutorial has been useful to you. Until next time, enjoy crocheting.